All right. Well, hey, yo, we are back. This is the AIW podcast. The card is going to change. My name is Ronald Two Legs, and as always, I am joined by AIW owner John Thorne. What's up, Thorne?
We're on location, podcasting out of the trunk of my car.
It's true. We are also joined by the Duke. What's up, Duke?
Actually, since it's podcast 300, I request you call me Leonidas or whatever that guy's name was from 300.
Oh, Leonidas? Yeah, that's his
that
name.
guy. Yeah. And I will call Thorne. What was the Persian guy's name? Xerxes.
Xerxes. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah, I don't even know who the.
It's no Troy. I'll say that much.
Which is 300?
Troy's
the one where
good.
Troy's awesome. I love Troy.
Is that the one that got those weird masks and stuff?
Yeah, it's the Spartans where they go the mountain pass and they fight like a gazillion Persians.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay. Well, we just we figured it was the big blowout 300th episode. So
Big special guest.
Yeah, we went all out. The big special guest. We're in the back of an SUV in a parking lot. We went all out for this. There's no craft service table. There's no room. I can't even get a pitcher of water out here.
There's nothing.
We need that Patreon to start hitting.
I know.
It's revamped and new. It's got to build back up.
Get on those tiers.
Yeah, get to the Patreon, sign up. We had some content come out already. We had a backstage vlog. A handful of people said they saw it and they enjoyed that kind of content. So we're gonna try to do more of that. What did you think of the vlog, Thorne?
I think that stuff like that is what people want to see on a Patreon, right? Like,
yeah.
I think it gives a decent amount of what goes on backstage, but we're not showing how all the soup is sung for back there.
How the sausage is made? No, absolutely not. I'm not a fan of it all because I hate everyone, and I don't want anyone to have any knowledge of what we do backstage. They should stay in the front where they belong. But that's just
so you got to pay $10.
He sure loves it when the camera goes on him though. When the GoPro goes past him, he goes, "Oh, we're vlogging." He cheers
I'll
up.
fucking talk anybody's ear off, but it doesn't mean I want people listening to it. I want to listen to it, see how sweet I sound.
King kayfabe.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. Yeah, so we'll have some more content like that coming out. We're doing some podcast type stuff for the Patreon, but a lot of new Patreon stuff coming the way. So you definitely sign up, get the Patreon numbers up, and we can do a lot more stuff like this.
Yeah, we got some new audio, premium audio coming. We got all kinds of stuff. I don't know. We got to give a shout out to Dustin Alberti for kind of laying the groundwork out, and then we did a couple, I guess edits. What do you call that? What do you call that in the corporate world?
Upgrades?
Yeah, upgrades.
We reimagined.
We reimagined.
We thought outside the box. We reimagined our
the new reimagined AIW Patreon.
We circled back to it.
Yeah.
I like reimagined.
Words I can think of.
I like reimagined.
Yeah, I really like reimagined.
If anybody gets one of those mega tiers on there, one of those big tiers.
Oh, yeah.
An added bonus, I won't talk to you for a month.
1 month?
1 month of non-Duke interaction if you do one of the big tiers.
That is funny.
There's a couple big tiers. I don't think anyone will ever do it, but we just put it on there anyway.
We had a handful.
Gotta aim high, man.
Yeah, and I mean, we had a handful of people in the Discord that said it was intriguing to them. Definitely interesting proposal. A couple people said that it was, something. I don't think it's as crazy of a pipe dream as you think it is. Really, I don't know.
I mean, how many WWE themed wrestling T-shirts can you buy? Save up your money, buy yourself a nice Christmas present.
Do you know Tyson Riggs?
We've met, yeah.
That man has every T-shirt ever created by the Shop Zone.
I would really like if he did one of the big tiers, I wouldn't have to talk to him for a month.
He doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't even speak.
He is a little socially awkward.
He doesn't speak, but he owns every. I swear to you.
He does have a lot of them.
He'll walk in with the most obscure wrestler T-shirt. Like, you don't even know they have a T-shirt.
He had somebody, it was like an Austin Theory shirt, and we were like, what the fuck? Are you the one guy that bought an Austin Theory T-shirt?
Oh, he's got a bunch.
When's he coming in with like a Uncle Elmer shirt or something?
You don't know who
That's
that
what
is.
I want to see.
He's all about the new school, the modern.
Ooh, who earns?
I walked in today, and he just looked over and went, shaved. Real subtle, just like looked.
That was his shocked voice.
It was just funny. He just looked at me like we've known each other forever.
His pulse is like 6 because he doesn't actually move around.
Oh, man.
Can you believe it? The 300th episode.
Yeah.
We probably would have been here a lot sooner if we didn't take a lot of days off.
That's true. That's
Took a lot of weeks off.
You know?
Because what is that? 300. If we did every week, that's 6 years.
This podcast's been going for a while.
There's been
We took a lot of weeks off. So
There's been some great episodes. I was just recently listening to some older ones.
I think the first one I was on was
we did like a big Q&A
48,
one.
I think.
Yeah.
No, you were on earlier than that. You're in the first 10, I think.
48 was, I was 12 maybe. And then 48 was, I think, the Terry Funk one. Maybe that was it. Because 48 sticks in my brain 48th episode sticks in my brain for some reason.
1248. Is that your AOL email?
1279.
Oh, that's it. It's your Twitter or whatever? Yeah, Duke 1279.
1279.
If it hasn't been mentioned, we are in the parking lot of the AIW Training Academy, so in case you hear some of that wild shit going on in the background, they are. Derek is running a class in the background. If you're interested in listening...
Drunk podding.
We're drunk podding right now. If you are interested...
No, I wish we were.
In getting into the wrestling school, they are classes are always running. Email Dom at aiwrestling.com.
Dominic,
excuse me.
maybe Dom. I don't know.
No, it's Dominic.
Yeah, is it Dominic? Okay.
Or pay the what's the Patreon tier? To
Yeah,
get
you
in.
could do a tour.
Yeah, there's a tour on the Patreon.
We can knock you around for a day.
There you go. So yeah, if you're hearing any of these wild noises,
it is Dominic at aiwrestling.com. I got to check. I don't have my notes in front of me.
There you
in
go.
the trunk of my car.
I invited Dom. He said he was had a brutal day at work today, and he lives a little farther, so he wasn't going to make the trip up. But
Mentally exhausted from last night's big fucking
Come to Jesus meeting.
State of the AIW address.
State of the Federation.
State of the AIW address to the.
I knew we were in for a long night when you brought 2 waters in.
oh no,
I kept telling Derek, I'm like, oh, this is a 2-water meeting. We're in trouble.
I think he just tried stretching it so you couldn't watch the Cavs game. Duke was
Well,
like,
it
"Hey."
turned out it didn't really friggin' matter.
Yeah, it was a blowout. That was brutal.
Yeah, it was definitely a 2-water meeting. Went about I don't know, almost 3 hours last night. But hopefully we got some things. What do you call it? Tightening up the lives. Right?
Everybody's got to tighten their lives up, man.
That was the line, yeah. The tighten your life up.
Tighten your life up.
I like it. I like that motto. I try to apply that to my everyday now.
Complaining about stuff, man. Just tighten your life up.
Tighten it up.
But yeah, that's probably Dom had to sit and listen to me talk last night, so he probably didn't want to come watch me talk again today.
He's a little AIW'd out.
I think he's a little mead out. I think everybody in this organization's a little mead out after yesterday.
Me too.
Luckily, I was not involved in the Come to Jesus meeting, so I felt pretty. I even asked you too. I'm like, "Oh fuck, am I supposed to show up to this?" And you're like, "No, dude, it's okay." It's like, okay, I just had to check because I know it was a mandatory meeting.
I think we had, with the exception of one person passed out in the
grass sleeper. Yeah.
I think we had. Did we have 100%? We came close to 100%.
There's a couple missing.
A vacation notwithstanding.
Vacations.
But yeah.
Brian Carson, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, he popped into my head.
Kaplan.
Cap
yeah.
Daddy, was he
Kaplan
in fucking
probably tried
Barcelona
to make
or
it,
some
but
shit
he
now?
got lost.
I saw him at the horse track on Saturday, and he's just like, I'm thinking about going to that mandatory meeting, make people real scared if I show up. Well, I did say it was a mandatory meeting.
Yeah.
Did he get sidetracked?
He told he's thinking about it. You're like, it's a mandatory meeting. He tells you he's thinking about it.
Fuck. There goes the mortgage, watching the horses go by.
Yeah.
He got sidetracked killing a deer with his bare hands to make more jerky.
I shit you not, Saturday at the horse track, Kaplan's there.
Yeah.
There's a busy day at the horse track is the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
This motherfucker shows up in a polo shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Just passing out Pally Jerky business cards everywhere.
Networking, baby.
Yeah, with a stogie going.
Oh, know he's stoked.
So
he
was cosplaying Kingpin again, like he always does. After
he didn't have those shades.
He was Wish Kingpin.
He didn't have the shades on, but he's walking around passing out.
He is the Kingpin. If he
Passing
grew a foot, he would literally be the Kingpin.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he's just walking around with a stogie. He's like, hey, you like jerky?
Yeah.
And, just passing them out to all the people at the horse
It's a hell of
track
an opener.
Saturday.
Dude, so I scored some major points with some of the people at my campground. It was like camping guys, so like these like manly dudes. So I had a bunch of Kaplan's jerky and I was eating it. And they were standing around. So, hey, you guys want want some jerky? Want to try some? And they're eating it like, holy fucking shit, this is good. Did you make this? This is good. Did you, man? I was like, nah, I can't take the credit.
A guy with one eye and 4 brain cells made it.
He used to own a cow.
They sit in his garage.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were
Right
all
next
loving
to
it.
all the paint thinner and everything else.
Oh man, but yeah. So back on the topic of the 300th episode, though, I was recently listening to some older episodes, and man, Sometimes I feel like I have big shoes to fill coming in here, man, because Biggins, man, that fucker could tell some stories, man, and he was great. Yeah,
This podcast would have been off the air probably a lot sooner if Biggins was still around.
Yeah.
the things he would have said.
He had no filter.
He can tell stories, but he always had a hard time with the truth.
That's not true.
Well, he had a hard time with the legitimate story itself. He always liked to spice it up.
Creative license.
Yeah, I guess.
Sometimes
Reimagine. That's the word.
Yeah, it's reimagine
Gotta
the
tighten the
story.
stories up. But he never forgot anything. That dude could, like, I have a really good memory, and that dude could remember anything about wrestling.
That's what, there's a lot of reasons to miss Chandler, but, like, he remembered every detail.
Yeah.
Like, somebody will be like, mention somebody, and I'll be like, I think I'm mad at that person, but I don't remember anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Biggins would know the detail and the date as to why we should be mad at that person. And, like, it was just like, you just go right through his brain, pull that card right up, be like, on, February 3rd, 2009, this happened. And
No show to booking or something.
He would know every detail of it.
Yeah.
Or know anything that he said, on, whatever social media at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a memory, like every detail of anything that any of us ever did with him, he would remember. Place, time, date, who else was there, like everything.
That's great. Certainly missed for sure. But you've come a long way. I'm no moderator of sorts. We got Steve. Where's Steve Guy? He's at a Monsters game or something. He's not here anymore. I took over for him. Here we are.
The original host, Glenn Moore, who's on the run with a warrant for his arrest.
He's in jail, I
We
think.
call him
right?
Mint Jelly because he's on the lam?
He's got a warrant for his arrest.
He's still on the
does he
lam, huh?
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They haven't found him yet?
No.
Isn't he in the backwoods of Tennessee somewhere?
They found him last I heard, they found him in Vegas, but they let him go because of the COVID pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow.
He's
Well,
on
we've
the lam.
Talk about a technicality.
come a long way
He's got
since
to be in
then.
Canada then by now, or Mexico.
I don't
or
know.
something.
Can you-
Maybe he
I
still
don't think-
listens. I don't know.
I don't think you could
Shout out
cross
Glenn
over
Moore.
if you got like warrants, stuff like that.
Glenn Moore, you're still out there. Give me a poke on Facebook.
Give us our stuff back.
Like, what does he have?
I assumed something. He takes
He
stuff from everybody else.
allegedly stole from Jerry the King Lawler.
Now the Lawler's not renewed, he's going to have a lot more time to find the real Steelers.
I
Just like
forgot
OJ.
about that.
I finally did. I know that's an infamous story that I told on the podcast before that Wes Barkley always reminded me of. I finally opened those Brian Christopher messages.
Oh yeah.
They were something.
R.I.P. Brian Christopher,
Yeah.
who was trying to get booked a few years ago, and I stopped opening the messages because I wanted them to leave me alone.
Yeah, if they see it open.
He booked a 4-show angle, I think, didn't he? Or something?
Oh, yeah. I finally.
That's the key of those guys. They always got to come back. They always gotta have-
2 weeks ago, I finally opened them up, and maybe that'll be Patreon. Reading my conversations, narrating my conversations with Brian. Maybe
Yeah,
Duke can play the part of Brian Christopher.
If
He just does the
it's only
impression.
one person. It's not really a conversation.
Yeah, you'll play the part of Brian. We'll have to get you test out your impressions when we're done recording.
All right.
But yeah, so what do you? You're like the third host.
Technically, yeah, somewhere around the third
Steve
host.
just stopped coming.
Yeah, everyone asked me how I got the job, and I go, I'm pretty sure I had the equipment and kind of had the knowledge, and Steve just stopped showing up, and Thor was like, hey, can you do this for me? And I was
Well,
like, yeah.
we just got on different schedules.
Yeah. Well, with the pandemic and stuff,
And
especially,
he started, he started working, at a bartender, and he does the comedy, and then he does the stuff with the monsters, and it's just
Yeah.
like, that's all like he's off when I'm at work, and when I'm off work, he's starting work. So it just, it'd be like, hey, I can do it on Tuesday at 10.
Yeah.
And then like something happens, and then 10 gets later, and then it's just like,
Because when I was on there, when we did like the Patreon podcast and the other stuff, we would do them at his house,
Yeah.
and it was always kind of a pain in the ass because it was like, we're there at like 10:30 at night or whatever, and it's just like, man, I gotta go.
Well, it just seemed like it was such a different set. It was more of like round table ones like this where you guys would get together and record like 2 or 3 in a row.
We would try to do like
those,
4,
and then we try to do like the Patreon ones, like because we each had like a thing.
Yeah.
Like I had a thing, Derek had a thing, and so we would knock out
Oh yeah, wasn't it director's chairs? I remember that.
chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pop Culture Pete.
Pop Culture Pete. I remember those ones.
Shooting with
Yeah.
the Shooters.
Yeah, I remember all those.
Schools Out with Dom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Arthur MacArthur might have had one. Dustin Alberti had one.
Yeah, and then with the pandemic and stuff, it just switched so much more to like the online.
Then I used to be able to get people together at my house, but then I got new furniture, and it just does not work for like a big group like that now.
Yeah.
I used to have like a couch and a love seat and like a recliner, and then I just got this like. My buddy was like, "Hey, do you want? I got this like brand new sectional in my basement. Do you want it?" And I didn't even look at it. I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
But like now it's like one of those weird L-shaped things, so like somebody would have to lay down. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's like a chase or whatever that went on the side. or
chase.
whatever.
Yeah.
Feed me grapes if I lay down.
So I'm just like,
What was the weird name I'm supposed to call you? Levat? What is it? He's feeding
I
him
forgot
grapes.
his name already.
You don't even remember.
Leonidas.
Yeah. Feeding you grapes like Leonidas. So I mean, it's just a little different, I think it's the weekly thing, trying to put them out weekly. It's just a little tough to get everyone together like that. We even were kind of a few days late trying to put this together, for the 300th, just trying to get everyone together. Cause schedules are just so tough. You know what I mean? Now that it's summer though, I think we're going to try maybe do some more, especially for Patreon stuff like this.
plus Duke W3, it's kind of out there for everybody,
a little
Duke
far. It's in the
W3 is
Heights.
located in beautiful Westlake, Ohio. It's not that far out for that many people, but
we were trying to drop the hint that maybe Duke W3 should host, but
nobody asked.
we were waiting for the offer. We were putting it out there. We didn't want to invite ourselves.
I feel bad because
now we're doing it out of a trunk.
every
fucking parking lot.
Every time we have meetings, we either do it at my house. The last like 3, we've had either my house or my office.
Yeah.
Because my office has a giant whiteboard.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad. I don't, it's like,
So he
trust
goes-
me, I love not having to drive anywhere, but I feel bad that I make everybody else drive to my house.
Well, it's funny because he's like,
my house isn't big enough. Pat's got kids in his
Yeah,
house.
My
yeah, my
house
house
is more
is-
than big enough, but I mean,
Dom lives
yeah.
far away.
Yeah.
Derek, who knows?
If you guys want to come,
he's got
if
fucking
you guys
leopard
want to
hair
come
right
by,
now.
that's fine. Yeah, he's got leopard hair, really strange.
so he's like, we're talking, and I'm like, we're going to get together. Like, what should we do? And he's like, well, maybe we can do it at the school. He's like, did you ask Duke? I'm like, well, I kind of floated out there. I go, I don't really know him well enough to be like, hey, listen, we're coming over, so fucking unlock the door.
I totally would have been fine with it.
From here on out, I'm
I could have saunted tonight because instead of sauning, I had to drive here.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
true.
think though, if we met here once a month during the warm months,
Yeah.
we could probably get more of this roundtable action going,
Yeah.
more of the Patreon stuff going. Because the problem is like before we started recording, you got to have a nice mic to fucking come on, remotely how we do it most
Yeah.
of the time. And I've tried it with Wadsworth before, where he's got like the fucking headphone thing going on, and like there's an echo, and
Yeah.
you can't get rid of the echo. So that's why I just like doing it with somebody with a mic. But now if we can come up here a couple times,
Wadsworth mine is
during
on
the week.
volleyball probably 24/7.
Volleyball.
Wadsworth, yeah, volleyball. You didn't know he coaches volleyball, man.
That's why he missed the
That's why he
Thursday
misses
brand.
the Thursday shows because he coaches volleyball.
He used to be a big volleyball player back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, he used to really get.
Beach?
I don't think beach. Like intramural bar league, maybe.
Beach.
I want to see him on the beach.
He's got
Maverick and Goose.
Speedos on.
Yeah, Maverick and Goose high-fiving an oiled-up dude.
Playing with the boys, going in the
Yeah.
back, Kenny Loggins.
But yeah, so Duke didn't invite us over, so here we are in the trunk.
We're in the
I'm sorry.
trenches.
I wish I would have known. I totally would have.
Could have ordered some Pizza Hut, John's favorite.
Yeah, John hates Pizza Hut, which I
I
do
hate
not
Pizza
get
Can we
at
get
all.
on
I
that
do
real
not
quick?
get
Yeah.
I
that.
hate Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is the lowest tier
Oh,
of
I
anything.
disagree.
Really? Yeah, I mean, Little Caesars is cheap and good. I love Little Caesars. I'm not here to
Fine.
besmirch Little Caesars.
I put Little
but-
Caesars at had a Pizza Hut.
It's good in a
Interesting.
pinch. But, I
Interesting.
mean, Papa John's put me in the hospital once, so I don't need
Really?
it.
You don't go to the Father, huh? See, I think Papa John's the Father is one of the best one. I think it's one of the best ones. I don't know. I like Papa
I haven't had
John's.
the new Domino's yet. I kind of want to because I like the old thin crust Domino's, but I haven't had the new
New
stuff.
school Domino's.
Yeah, I haven't had it yet.
Domino's used to be.
Chase Oliver. That food ranking list went
Oh, it's
viral.
terrible.
Went viral.
Oh,
It's terrible.
It went viral because the opinions were so bad.
And Long John Silver's wasn't even on the tier.
Shout out to fucking Planks
Dude,
and side
I tried to
crunchies.
put him in the conversation. They didn't
Crunchies.
bite.
Sheets responded to me.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's
I even
funny.
tweeted Long John Silver's and said their food comes from Jesus himself.
Are
and they
you
didn't even say
surprised
thank
that
you.
Long John Silver's, the fucking basically a ghost of a corporation, did not reply to you on Twitter?
They probably don't even have a social media guy.
Yeah.
They still got a Twitter. Let's go. They were posting stuff that day.
That notification is in some fucking corporate guy who signed up for the Twitter's phone, just unread right now.
When you invoke Jesus when discussing someone's food offerings, they at least should say thank you.
You know, you're not wrong. I will agree with you there.
And at least once a month, this is the God's honest truth, for the past probably 3 years, I argue and fight with myself about going there. Because I know when I go there, I get like the largest order of chicken planks possible.
Yeah.
Treasure chest.
And then I have them throw like 5 more in. So I get like 20 chicken planks, and I will literally eat all of them in one sitting.
Where's the closest one to you? Brook Park Road?
Elyria.
Oh, yeah, Elyria. I guess that's not
One
too
next
far
to the
down.
Ice House.
Yeah,
but
that's the
one in
normal one,
Elyria
yeah.
that's closer to me. But then I go, you're gonna die, first of all. You're gonna be bloated for 4 days. I'm just like, so then I don't do it. So I haven't had Long John Silver's in forever.
So we did open it up. I don't know if you want to go to the questions or if there's anything you really want to just talk about. I was kind of curious. I know we're not like a wrestling news podcast or anything like that, but I was kind of curious on your thoughts on the Flair video. The bar footage of Ric Flair yelling at that guy.
I think that other guy almost fucking found out sitting at the other end of the bar.
Dude.
So what was, like, I couldn't really make that out. He said, I'll take you outside.
So-
and then Flair said he was on the pussy train or something? Or what?
Well, so he's berating some
it's hard to
kid.
understand.
Yeah.
He's
that's
berating the kid. The kid.
They
who-
like cut him off.
They
for
cut
being
him
too
off.
drunk.
Yeah.
Cut him- is that what happened? Is that the original jumping off point?
Yeah.
Which a little,
Which makes 1,000%
which a
sense.
little,
hammered
which
in
a
the
little inside scoop
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes is Dom Guarini snapped some pictures in the airport earlier that day, and he got Flair at 2 different airport bars.
Flair and
Oh, that's
Fifi
so
having
funny.
some gin and tonics or whatever at the airport bar.
Sea breezes.
So he's telling the kid. I'm guessing the kid cuts him off, tells him he can't drink anymore, and Flair is basically telling him, "I've spent so much money here. I come here all the time and spend money. Like, who do you think you are to cut me off?" And at some point, he's just kind of berating the kid more and more because the kid's not really starting to kind of be a dick. And then just some random other guy that's like at the end of the bar because Flair says, "Oh, you know, if you're gonna talk to me, we go outside and handle this outside. You know, you're gonna talk to me like that. We'll go outside." And the kid's like, "I'm at work right now. I'm not going outside with you. I'm on the clock." So that's when he says, "You're on the pussy clock," because he says to him, "I'm on the clock. I'm not gonna fight you outside."
I like watched it.
Oh,
with
I've
just
watched it.
I didn't watch. I watched it with like the closed captions.
yeah.
Oh, I've
I'm at
watched
work
it.
and
But
I'm
then
like,
the other guy piped up, and then
the other guy
like
says,
that
"I'll
was
go
over
outside."
with immediately.
Yeah.
The other guy's like, "I'll go outside with you."
Yeah.
And then Flair says, "What'd you say to me?"
Dude,
And, like,
when
it
he-
goes nowhere,
talking.
he just
Oh.
stopped.
When he says the second time, "What did you just say to me?" I think that guy, at first he's really feeling, "I'll go outside with you." And he's looking at him, maybe didn't realize it was Ric Flair, or is just thinking this is an old guy, you know. But the
had to know
second
it was
time
Flair.
Rick says to him, "What did you just say to me?" You see this guy's face like, "Oh, I might have fucked up."
I know Flair is an all-timer.
Oh, yeah.
I know that. But, and I'm not the toughest guy in the world. If I can't beat up an 80-year-old drunk guy who had a heart attack in his last match, I need to move to Iceland or something.
That's
I mean,
what I
don't
said.
even-
What kind of pride do you take in beating
Well,
up
that's
an
the
old
other-
man?
that's the other
Drunk
thing.
Flair
old
going to be at the
man?
Hartville Flea Market next weekend, by the way.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Does he know there's literally no booze anywhere near there?
We should bring him some.
He's going to be there.
Plenty of Trump knives, but there's
Oh,
no.
dude.
Not even getting paid for this plug, but I think Ric Flair and Tori Wilson are going to be at the Hartville Flea Market.
Wow.
Oh, Tori Wilson. All right.
He's piqued Duke's attention there.
Yeah. She's got to be easier to talk to than Kelly Kelly.
The
What
infamous.
a nightmare that was.
It's a great story.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really have any thoughts on the Flair video. I think I have more thoughts on the fact that Flair said he had a heart attack during his last match, and people have synced up like videos
Yeah.
of like
Oh,
where
when
When
it
they think it
happened?
you
is.
could probably tell he's like unconscious and
he
having
won't
a heart
get this.
attack.
He won't get this. But like like the episode of The Simpsons when Bart pinpoints the exact moment when Lisa breaks Ralph's heart.
And he keeps running it back.
You can see it right here. You actually break his heart.
With the Valentine's episode or whatever.
Yeah.
I choose
And then he
you.
came to show that, and I go, dude, there's no way you know what that is. And
Simpsons.
Yeah.
I told you last night I was watching the Simpsons documentary on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I know the Simpsons like the first. When I was a kid, I watched it all the time. I don't know,
Is it still on?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it this season really at all. I watched the reruns.
Yeah. I mean, they got to be on like season 30 or some shit.
I did
more than that.
36.
Fucking
36
shit.
seasons.
That's wild. 36 seasons. Like I said, I just was curious on your thoughts on that because
I don't really have thoughts. I'm more concerned about the heart attack in the ring, I think.
Yeah, you can see this part of your heart. It's not there. This black space, like that's what the doctor said. A piece of his heart broke off,
my God.
or it was missing, and he
dangling.
said that's a indication that you had a heart attack in the last 2 years. He said or something.
Yeah.
After he said he went to the doctor 6 months, and of course he was like, "Yeah, my pulse is like 6." They can't believe it. I'm running everywhere. Meanwhile, Hogan's on Theo Von's podcast going, I don't think I've ever seen Ric Flair drink water.
I did see that clip. I've been getting like a lot of those those reel clips, in my feed.
I get those in my feed all the time. Yeah.
All those comedy podcasts do that.
Yeah.
And I got the Hogan one on Theo Von the other day where he's like, I hadn't seen that brother drinking water in 50 years.
Drink water in 30 years. Yeah.
Water kind of sucks anyways. It's overrated.
I don't know, man. I once went 2 weeks. What did I drink?
Somebody just got pinned.
It was like softball playoffs and other stuff, so I was out like every night. I went like a week and a half drinking nothing but it was beer or I think it was waters. Beer and water were the only two things I drank.
Original AIW commentator Colin to this says there's 3 things in life. Three things to survive in life. Hot showers, cigs, and ice cold water.
Oh, ripping heaters.
He said those are the 3 keys to living.
A cool glass of water is solid on occasion. I
would just replace the heater with like a medical heater, and I could take that because I love a good hot shower, love a good medical heater, and I love an ice cold water. I can't deny.
There you go. Medical heaters.
Chris,
I think I'll replace that with some sort of female contact. I mean,
I'm married. That's built in, brother. I'm not worried about that.
What do we got? We got some questions?
Yeah, so we got some questions. If you want to ask any questions, join the Patreon. We open it up to the Discord. We take all questions in there. Whenever we record, we typically throw it out there. So if you got anything you want, you can throw it in there. And
Justin Summers is going to fucking analyze our levels in the Patreon.
Am I close enough to the microphone that it won't cause him harm?
I'm trying my best here to produce this thing live, but
I don't want to spike my peas or anything,
I've had this. I have this problem with wrestlers a lot, and I always say it's funny because as a wrestler, you're taught like doing promos and stuff. I guess there's probably not any like actual mic. You don't ever get up here with like mics and teach them to like talk into the mic. But I always expect everyone to be good at talking into the mic.
When a lot of times people have shitty sound systems. Like I know for years we had one. Traxler, I always make fun of Traxler for his terrible sound system back in the day.
That's how
they
I got
would
the
always
job.
cut out. All the mics would cut out all the time.
Yeah.
He would always say it was because people drop the microphones. I would just say because he thinks there's chocolate inside of them and he tries to eat them.
It's mostly. I've
said that to his face, so it's okay.
I always
he
say
knows I'm kidding. I love him.
Out of the biz now, Trax.
He's still around.
The biggest thing with the mics and the cutting out of the mic is the batteries. You have to have fresh batteries, and it's also. Sometimes you run into problems with frequencies and mics at places if they're like, especially a building like Temple where you're running a few places. There could be a band upstairs that's running like wireless mics and monitors, stuff like that.
Or
too.
you get speakers in the wrong spot. And
there's a handful of reasons.
It's kind of a crapshoot, so you know.
But that was part of how I got the job. I kind of always used to roast being a sound guy myself. When I would come to shows, if there was ever anything would happen, I would. Because I would have a couple beverages. I'd be running my mouth like, oh, this fucking guy, And he couldn't make it.
It was always fun to poke fun at Traxler all the time. That was one of the highlights of every time I went to a show. I'd get a couple digs in on it, but then I'd give him a hug.
But he couldn't make it to something. They had something.
Some like health stuff going on.
Yeah. And Dom was the
way the Odeon was set up, it was not working for him.
Yeah.
With the health issues, and then Dom tried to do it, and then Dom
The infamous Spike, Gronk Spike.
spiked his fucking Surface Pro because it froze.
Well, so that was still at the portion where there was
Healthy reaction.
a couple of shows. So that's how I got the job.
A lot of expensive electronics that fly around backstage.
Yeah. Dom had said to me, hey, Traxler can't make it. He talk a lot of shit. Now's the time, put your money where your mouth is. So I came and did that Rager. And you had me do, like
Shout out to Parker, who still might be laying in that field. Over there.
sexy lane over there. You had me do, I would do the Temple or the Akron shows, and like anything that wasn't like the Odeon. For whatever reason, the Odeon, you're like, oh, we got the sound guy, which was Dom, but that only lasted the one show because Dom spiked his Surface fucking Pro off the ground. You're like, the next show, you're like,
Well, at
hey,
that
can you
time,
come do the sound of the Odeon?
That's when Dom was going through his health stuff.
Yeah.
Where he thought he was done. So he's like,
Yeah,
I'll be the
hurt.
sound guy now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to be more valuable as we discussed last night.
What's your value, Pete?
$1.2 million.
Oh my
Jesus
goodness!
Christ.
throwing decimal points.
That's
in
my value.
Getting exact with it. But yeah, so back to the Patreon and the Discord.
You're doing a little better, to be honest.
We thought a little better of you than that, too.
It took me a while to get my shit together.
So a couple questions coming from the Discord. Russell Williams.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
You want to know if she should hit the outcut or the deep in?
Let's ride, AW. But Russell Williams asks for Michael Porter. I'm not sure why Michael Porter's not on there, but he's asking. Michael Porter wants to know when Thorne is having the dog collar match with Josh Bishop. And I think it's been said on this podcast before.
Never, ever.
But there was only one stipulation to that.
On a body of water.
Yeah,
On a body of
on a
water.
barge. Yeah, as long as it is on a barge.
Which there's been some movement.
There's
That's
some
kind of why I brought it up.
there's
Yeah.
some
There has been
discussion.
some movement on that recently.
We got a little.
We were approached by a like an HOA, that like mansions around a lake, in which they want us to provide them with a wrestling event on their lake.
Oh, it'd be so great.
If it's mansions around a lake, I'm starting to think it was just a ruse. And they're going to hunt us.
They're gonna- yeah.
when we show up.
It's like that
Brother,
movie.
bid me, pay me. As long as the check clears, I'll be there.
Yeah, but they're gonna hunt you. They're gonna
Thorne's
mount your
pulling
head on their wall.
Thorne's pulling an arrow out of his shoulder.
Hey, Mr. 1.2 million. You know the financial status of this company
man.
is nowhere close to that.
I'm gonna have that.
So if that
into my
check,
chest so I don't get killed.
if
I'm one of you. I'm one of you.
If that fucking money wire comes through, we're going to this fucking mansion community on the body of water. But here's the thing: the catch to that is, I don't think they'll be letting
Fans.
the pores
Yeah, the pores got to stay away.
into the
hate the
gated
pores.
community.
Yeah.
Hate the pores.
They want their own
This
private
is a private.
wrestling event on a fucking body of water.
We have to
It's like
somehow stream this or
Some sort of
something.
bizarre gladiatorial ancient Roman combat. Sticking with the theme of ancient Rome.
This was brought to me about 3 weeks ago, and I did not believe it was real. And there's been some fucking serious movement on it.
And Pedro has said it is possible.
Pedro's like, yeah, I can build that, dude. Just get,
Put some floaties on the side.
He's immediately, I could do that. I could
let
do
me
that.
go to fucking Habitat for Humanity and
That's where he gets his
Giant
supplies.
pontoon boat with ropes on it.
remember the Raptor, the wrestler
yeah.
Raptor.
Yeah.
Said he could build you an Inferno match for $50 with some PVC pipe.
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. Love Pedro. Shout out to Pedro.
So maybe happening, but maybe
The answer is never, but.
Never say never is what it
No,
sounds like.
I don't say never and don't say always because you're going to paint yourself into a corner. But never unless.
the answer is maybe, but it may not be open to the public.
Well, you'll have to. Matt's going to be a Patreon tier right there to stream that
Oh,
bad
yeah.
boy. That's
There you
now
go.
that's a tier right there.
Yeah.
That's reimagined. That's what we're talking about. He also would like to know what's everyone's favorite match they've been involved with or watched at AIW. John, you were working for many years. Duke, you're still active. Either of you guys have your favorite match that you were involved with.
I hated pretty much every in-ring experience I ever had.
Really?
To be honest.
Because we've never really talked about your in-ring stuff at all much.
I was never comfortable, really, ever. Like, I just... you're running a show, you're like I'm pretty realistic as to where I am as far as talent wise. You know what I mean? So it's
Sure.
like, never really felt too comfortable doing it ever until the last time I did it which was probably the only time that I really had fun, which was when it was turned into myself, Ethan Page, and Swoggle against Duke and the Bitcoin Boys.
Yeah.
Because that just was a bunch of fucking around, which I never really participated in much. You know what I mean? To where it was just like, Swoggle and Ethan Page are just like super professional guys and laughing their asses off the whole time.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. And then, the big Rager one that we did.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
pretty,
stabbing Twan had to be fun, right?
Those are probably the two that really stick out as like really fun experiences to me.
I feel like that match was one of the Rager matches that really kind of started to set Rager off on the course that it is, really.
Yeah, so I actually had this conversation with somebody recently. They're like, oh, you should book so-and-so for Rager. Or like, Worldwide's texting me to book some band for Rager. And I said, I don't think we got to book anything for Rager.
no.
I think you just say Rager. Now, I have some ideas that I think would personally be funny for Rager.
Yeah.
But
I
don't
love
think,
the one, too.
I don't think it's...
I mean, it was nice to have Raven there. It was nice to have Sandman there. It was nice to have PCO there. It was fun.
Wasn't that nice to have Sabu there, but he was there.
Eventually, it got decent.
I'm not a fucking backyard wrestler.
Yeah, how many times do we have to try to get him back into the fucking building?
You don't need anybody because there's no expectation. People just want to have a good time.
Yeah, it's day drinking and wrestling,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get a lot of built-in, people that come from class, too, that aren't even necessarily wrestling fans, too. You get a decent crowd built in kind of with the building, which is nice.
As far as, like, favorite match to see?
Yeah. Which it's probably impossible for you. You've been doing this for fucking 17 years, 20 years.
There's been a zillion great AW matches, but Tracy Smothers versus Grado, probably never laughed that hard in my entire life.
Was that at UXWA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was at
in the arena.
in that,
the arena.
in
yeah,
their venue.
The UXWA arena.
Oh, okay.
There's something else happened recently where I was laughing uncontrollably, and I can't think of what it was, but it was something on a recent show that was just so fucking funny.
Yeah, something's standing out for me because I want to say we were standing right in the back by the monitor. And damn it! Now
Was it a Thursday?
I don't know.
No, I want to say it was a Temple show.
Yeah, that's.
I want to say it was something on Tougher Than Leather. Was it when did the Micro Man match?
Might have been Micro Man.
Yeah.
There was a couple
probably.
moments in that I was like, God damn it, this is good, man.
Yeah, but there was really any Tracy Smothers stuff was just so fucking hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
Another guy left us way too soon, but just I don't know, just stuff like that to where it's like I take AW so seriously, and I want everybody to perform to the utmost of their abilities and do great. And then Tracy Smothers would just fucking do whatever the fuck Tracy Smothers would do.
Yeah.
And typically how I feel about wrestling, I would hate that. But it fucking was my favorite stuff every single time.
Because he was a nice guy, so it was be like, all right, go do whatever you want.
But it was so entertaining. But if Jim, the fucking local wrestler, did that shit, I would hate it. But Tracy Smothers doing it made it
because
good.
You've seen him do it. Because people do the shit he did. They do it all the time. What he did was basic wrestling heat 101, and so people would do it, and you're just like, man, that's so corny. But then he would say, I'm going to take my shirt off, and the divorce rate's going to go up. And
he turned it into
a
hilarious.
Shtick.
He turned it into
hilarious.
He turned it into he would. When he would wrestle at AIW in bigger indies, he would call his spots out loud because he knew that would get a pop.
Yeah.
Because because he was like, and then he'd be like, I'm working the smart marks, like, and like he would do it on purpose because he knew that would get a pop, and he was right, and it always did. So like, just stuff like that really, really stands out. I mean, there's, I don't know, probably been thousands of AIW matches at this point. There's been some real bad ones. There's been a ton of really great ones, and this is where you wish Biggins was around because he could rattle off a top 20 right now.
Right.
What about you, Duke?
I don't know. I mean, what was the question? Favorite match I've been in?
Favorite match you've been involved with?
I mean,
or watched?
The answer is always the Jock Sampson match.
Yeah, I thought that was
just because it was so good, and it had zero expectations. It was kind of it was arguably one of, if not the only the actual feud we had going at that time. And it was like it was an actual like old school 7-month, 6-month build,
Yeah.
So there was an actual story there, but everybody was like, well, this is going to be, whatever. And it was fucking fantastic. I bled like crazy. I couldn't even see. I was bleeding so much. And everything worked. And even the stuff that didn't work made it work because we were able to go back and do. And it was just one of those perfect storm type things when everything just kind of falls into place. But I mean, you also have like the Rager matches, the 5-on-5s. I've done a couple of those. Those are fun. The Terror at the Temple match we did was fun as shit. Even though the Temple wanted to kick us out because we had fun. We didn't do any damage to anything, but we did what we said we would do. It was a falls count anywhere.
Speaking of the Rager one, the stepping onto onto the door, you almost dying. With the West and the carry.
And the bull rope.
That was a West one. That was a different one.
I wanted to recreate the magic of me Duke driving Jock through the table. So I was like, well, Wes, let's do it at Rager. And he was all about it. And that fucking table was held together by dreams and wishes. I mean, it was like when we set it up, it was kind of all he had to do was like blow on and it was going to fall down.
Yeah, it was.
And so I didn't realize that at the time. Looking back on it, you could kind of see that was going to happen. I put one foot on that thing and it just snapped immediately.
Yeah, it didn't.
And Wes and I went down like I got shot. And I don't know how I didn't break my leg. I don't know how Wes didn't get hurt. But
because his face is right by the guardrail, too.
Yeah.
You're holding him over your shoulder, and that guardrail on the side is really close.
I didn't get a chance to pull him in.
Yeah.
And we went, and the table broke and went up. Like it broke and went up, and it jammed itself into my hamstring. And my hamstring from like my ass to my knee was purple for like 3 weeks after that because it was bruised so bad. I have no idea how my leg just didn't snap. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yuck.
I don't know.
Yuck.
And but it was still a fun match. I mean, obviously that sucked, but match itself was fun. The best match I've ever seen at AIW. Oh, that's so many of them. I'd probably have to go, and just because it sticks in my brain when people talk about great matches at the show, that was it the 4-way tag at Absolution, right?
Which one?
With Shima and
the
Lucha
tag?
Yeah.
The 6-man tag? Yeah, that was an open to Absolution.
Was it a 6-man tag or was it a 4-team tag?
I think it was a 3-on-3.
Oh, okay. Because that's when Shima did the launch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Steve Payne's debut.
Yeah. He made his flight that
3XL
time that day. But that's pretty incredible.
Oh,
What about your favorite segment you've ever been in?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one.
Yeah, this one would kind of almost piggyback off of what
Probably
Hercules.
of all the segments I've done, sometimes they run together, but I mean the DiBiase one was great, the Sandman one was great, the Terry Funk one.
That's my favorite.
God, I mean,
Yeah.
I almost was gonna, but see, I forget because there's been so many of them. I was almost gonna say the Ricky Steamboat one. Just because getting chopped by Ricky Steamboat and making him crack up is an all-timer, but it's got to be the Terry Funk one.
Yeah, I mean, that's
just that went off the rails in such a glorious fashion.
Yeah.
And it was
No one knew it was coming. We didn't.
No,
You didn't know.
I
I
didn't
didn't
know.
know. Nobody knew it was coming.
The worst part about it was the next day everyone's like on the internet, Terry Funk beats up concession stand worker. I emailed one guy and I'm like, dude, no, I'm actually a worker. I was Eddie's manager. I wasn't a concession stand worker.
Dude's
man.
fucking right.
My moment of
replying
glory.
to the trolls,
He's
dude.
looking for retraction.
Oh,
That's
funny
fucking the
as hell,
story of
dude.
my life right there, man.
Concession stand.
Concession stand worker beat up by Terry Funk.
Holy
I
shit,
mean, talk
that
about
is
going
funny.
from a mile high to
Yeah.
fucking under the fucking ground in like 3 seconds.
Excuse me, WrestleNews.net. I'm going to need you to write a retraction.
Oh, I emailed somebody. I was pissed.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so as I
Terry
said,
Funk. That's going to be the name of this podcast. 300. Terry Funk beats up concession stand worker.
that is
I
fantastic.
never told anybody that.
No, I've never heard that.
I've
yeah.
never heard this story in my
Oh,
life.
yeah.
That's
I
really
was
funny.
fucking hot, man. I was hot. I was working the socials Saturday morning.
That's just so funny.
He's like trying to enjoy the gifts of every,
That's
like
why when
enjoy it.
people
He's like,
say,
God damn it,
like,
this
when-
guy's talking shit.
When I say nobody knows who the fuck I am outside of
Concession stand.
Ohio, and Dominic's like, no, people know who you are. They ask about you. I'm like, nobody fucking asks about me. Nobody. I've been in this business for 20 years and nobody gives a fuck.
Concession stand worker. Oh
This
my
is so
god.
fucking
Yeah.
funny.
It's
to
like
me.
fucking, what is that? Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they go, they're like,
They go to the
they're
Poop
looking
Eaters
for
or ass blaster of 69's house. To fight him.
What the fuck is the internet?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Concession stand worker. Fuck.
Yeah, as I was saying, Hercules had asked what was everyone's favorite guest to appear. So I'm going to assume that would be your favorite guest. Thorne, is that kind of the canned answer? Is Terry Funk for the
Terry
most part?
I mean, the Terry Funk thing, it's been documented on this podcast, but it's like it turned out to be once in a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it turned out to be a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, we tried to recreate it with a lot of different people, and we've done good things, but nothing on that level.
yeah, I mean, there's been a ton of great guests. I mean, even Demolition just here, where
They were
awesome.
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we've been pretty lucky with the guests, but Terry Funk is up there.
It helps to have Fonzie around when we have guests.
Yeah.
The Fonzie effect now. Yeah,
We've
I mean,
talked about that on the pod and how he just makes people so much more comfortable.
But yeah, I mean, there's always been good stuff. I mean, the director is here. You could probably
Yeah.
ask him that question.
So, Derek, we are
getting some wind.
joined-
Are we getting some wind
I
in
was
the
going to
trunk
say, do you
pod?
want to try to walk in the front? It's getting a little windy on here. I don't know if you want to try and move it or
Are
not.
you picking it up?
You can definitely hear it.
We can move in. Training's over. I'll tell them to stop bumping.
So the question was put to us: your favorite match you've been involved in AIW, and then also your favorite match you've watched in AIW.
This is literally
should be
on
filmed
location.
for Patreon.
Yeah, us walking in with all these cords.
This is like a mobile podcast.
We're podcasting. It's getting too windy out there.
We're live.
We're live. Justin Summers is gonna hate this one.
That's fine. Just be
We'll
glad.
just go right here.
Yeah, right
This
here.
is fine. This is fine. Just be glad you guys got a podcast. That's all. I'm saying.
Get in a couple sets while we're
don't know if this-
podcasting. I don't either.
Hold on. You're tangled up.
It's gonna be a bitch to edit.
So favorite match in AIW and favorite match you've been involved in AIW.
Oh, I didn't know.
already
it was
answered
still,
that.
I
Yeah, we
didn't
already
know it's still
answered,
under. My favorite match in the AIW
Yeah.
would probably be me versus Big Sam Holloway versus Filthy Tom Waller versus Masato Tanaka. It was from this past J-Lit. It was pretty cool. It helped facilitate my friendship with Masato Tanaka.
Yeah, I was going to say you kind of become friends with him.
Careful with
now.
that name. Don't want to drop it.
Pick it up.
I'm sure you did your fair dropping of Terry
I didn't
Funk.
say friends.
Well, hey, listen, he's been
Concession stand worker.
Yeah, listen here, concession stand worker.
You weren't here. You weren't here for that part.
Oh, God,
Duke said
that's
the
good.
headlines, all the headlines on the wrestling news sites the next day said Terry Funk beats up concession stand worker.
Beats up
I love
Eddie,
that.
Eddie Kingston, concession stand worker.
I love that. If you had a concession stand, what would your supplies be? Or what
Chicken
would
planks.
you, okay.
Nothing
It'd be
but
called.
chicken
It'd be
planks.
called Pete's Treats.
How long you had that one loaded?
Just on the fly.
Oh shit! Shout out real concession stand worker for AIW Monsoon Classic, dude.
Would Monsoon Classic be one of your employees?
I couldn't afford Monsoon Classic.
No one.
He's a big money man.
So you got Tanaka, the 4-way with Tanaka, Big Sam, and Filthy for your favorite match you're involved with. Do you have? I mean, because you were watching AIW before you came here, right? You've grown up on Cleveland Indies.
Oh yeah.
So what would be you? So you go way back with AIW. What would be maybe your favorite match you weren't involved in, just that you've seen at AIW?
I'm trying to think of a off the cuff one. I'm trying to think of a fun one. I was a big fan of #Blackballed. That was a trio that AIW had for a while. I thought that was real cool, but then I realized that the people that were in this
A
faction
brief moment in time when me and the Duke were tag team partners.
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
Back in the day.
Blackballed was your team? name?
No, we feuded with them.
No, we feuded.
Oh, okay.
Alpha Beta Duke with John
yeah, I've
Thorne
heard that
feuded
name.
with
Yeah.
them. That was one of my favorites. That's up there.
Interesting.
In that match, I called this dumbest spot that meant nothing and got no pop at all. Where I told Randy Blaze to Sabu me with the full 50-pound spool of barbed wire to the head, which he did, and it just nobody gave a shit, and it just gave me a concussion.
And he said earlier that he didn't like wrestling in the ring at all. He's like, I hate it all. I was never comfortable. I didn't like it. No fucking wonder you're letting guys Sabu you.
I got a result of those things.
Oh, not be for real. I liked one of my favorite matches was Thorne and Haley Hatred and Dog Collar match. That was a really good match.
The West Park Party Center.
Oh, yeah.
It was awful.
Shout out Haley Hatred.
John Moxley tried to switch it out with me.
Oh, yeah?
He was there. He said, "Hey, let me just get in there."
So what was his match that he was booked on? Do you remember?
It was him and fucking Revolver guy against Osirian Portal and two Chikara guys. Who one guy we didn't know his name was like. They're just, we're bringing this guy Slade with us.
Oh.
So we thought his name was Slade. But, like, he had a whole gimmick. And we were like, here's fucking whoever in Slade. And they're like, no, that's his name. Quack's going to be so mad.
So is it the same guy that wrestles now under the Slade, the bald-head guy?
No,
Okay,
no,
okay. Gotcha.
And then, I don't know who else was in the match. But that's why Moxley was there. And he was just like, he really wanted to do the dog collar match and get some fucking juice.
Hell yeah.
And I was like,
Loves the business.
Roll around with Haley, smack her around.
He loves the business.
Thorne's friends that were there were great. I don't want to know if I know them, but like I just remember sitting in the crowd and the heckles that were happening during that match were so perfect. That one and then the
barbed wire one, there
rope-
was a full-on fight in the crowd before the barbed wire match.
Oh, what is that the one that was almost a riot started?
There's been a couple
December
riots.
one where it was like super snowy.
No, I'm talking about when there's an epic photo. I have it somewhere, and it's a picture of Duke getting ready to break the fight up. You're like, you got a polo shirt on, and you got your hand out, and you're heading in, and then there's it's like a still shot of somebody with their fucking fist right in some guy's face.
Switzerland. That's what I do.
It was
That's funny.
all my friends were beating up Dave the Potatoes buddies in the crowd,
Oh, that's so funny. I don't believe that guy had buddies. Get out of here.
and the Duke came out to break it up. So there was like a full on riot before the barbed wire match, and then my friends were shaking the barbed wire with their bare hands and bleeding everywhere. It was very testosterone and alcohol
It
fueled.
was crazy.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, old
This is at the
AIW used to be real crazy.
West
Wild
Park Party
West.
Center?
Yeah,
Hell
it's not
yeah.
a funeral home.
sad.
is it now?
It's
Yeah.
real sad.
It's a funeral home
Interesting.
now.
It's also real expensive.
Yeah, it's a very expensive building to
Yeah.
run. But the Haley Hatred matches were rough.
She's not in the business anymore, is
She
she?
moved to I heard she moved to Morocco. After Chandler, right before Chandler got sick, he told me he had found her and was exchanging emails. So when Chandler passed away, his mom gave me all of his passwords, and I went in and I got the email address and I let her know, what happened. We exchanged a couple of emails, and then I just let her live her life in Morocco.
She was taken. Is that why she's in Morocco? She was taken?
Like Liam
She
Neeson
married him,
taken?
yeah.
No, she married a Moroccan prince or something.
Yeah, she was taken.
Oh, I thought she was in the Peace Corps or something.
Peace Corps.
That's what I thought.
No, she met some random French guy at the airport, and he took her. Now she's in Morocco.
Oh my God.
Not what happened.
Married to a prince in Morocco. She's taken.
Jesus Christ.
No one in Haley Hatred.
We need a Liam Nielsen.
No one in Haley Hatred's life has that particular set of skills that they could save Haley Hatred.
Dave the Potato, where's he at?
She comes home sometimes.
Does she?
Yeah, her family was in Columbus.
So another question coming in from the Discord. Russell wants to know, who would be on the AIW Mount Rushmore? Have we talked about this before? If we had to do an AIW Mount Rushmore?
Boy,
Thorne
I'm sure
hates
it's
this.
coming.
I bring this up all the time to
I
Thorne.
don't know. I'm going to defer to the group here.
I always pitch to Thorne that there would be an AIW Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and Thorne hates it.
Well, that we've laughed about that
This is
because
also another Dave the Potato project.
people have asked on the podcast, AIW Hall of Fame, or they've referenced that before, and he always just said like, "What are they going to do? We don't have a Hall of Fame center. Like,
Yeah,
what are
we're
they
gonna
going
go
to
look
do?"
at it.
Yeah, like where is
He
this?
didn't have one.
Matt Wadsworth blue polo.
That's going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
That Mike Baker got printed up.
with the yellow writing.
Yeah, but so we all got Mike Baker made business polos in 2007 for everybody.
Put it right below his terrible goatee when he shaves it off.
We gotta have a facial hair seminar. That's
My mustache is top level.
Listen, if you
he
don't,
probably thinks his beard is top level.
It's all disgruntled and
I
disheveled.
love his
and-
goatee.
if he doesn't
Doesn't know
do
what
this
it's doing.
this cop tag thing with you while having this mustache, are we not just wasting?
He's got-
What
he's
are we
got
doing?
cheetah hair. He ruined it.
You can wear like a hat or something.
Anyway.
Some glasses.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
who's the Mount
easy
Rushmore?
answer.
Mount
Biggins
Rush-
first.
yeah,
I would
so-
think it started with Biggins.
Biggins, JT Lightning.
No.
Well, that was what I was going to ask. JT only wrestled for AEW a handful of
years.
times, right? Only a couple times.
He refed for a couple years.
We had-
He died in 2011, and so he was around for 5 years.
The
Okay.
years where he was mad at us.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
So
that.
maybe not 5 years.
I'll have to reference my paperwork. I think I did draw this up before. I remember the Duke was really mad at me as well because I said Duke was like year 6 inductee into the AIW Hall of Fame.
Oh my God. Not a first ballot.
with Mr. RBI.
No, it was you. It was the Latin Crime Syndicate
I'm already angry.
and Southside Sinclair. He was actually the headliner of that class.
There's a lot of terrible shit that happened in AIW.
Yeah.
Just like awful shit, but you have to look at it through the lens of the time to where it made sense, but like it is atrocious to watch now.
I mean, I'm trying to think of somebody from like before that.
Well,
carried the company. or that-
Sterling James Keenan, he'd probably be in it. John.
Well, we're
would
talking
be in
about
it.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, not the Hall of
not
Fame.
the Hall of Fame. Mount Rushmore. Biggins for sure.
Yeah, I thought that was an easy one.
Dennis Stamp.
He's booked for the
Grado.
Mount Rushmore.
I mean, what do you? I don't know what you base it on. I'm sorry, I'm coughing.
No, that's okay.
Base it on.
Would you be in the Mount Rushmore, Duke? I mean, you did have one of the greatest Absolution matches of all time.
Look,
He's also got to be the longest running
also
belt
known
holder
as
as
the
well.
concession stand worker.
no, that's two different matches. However, I don't want to say yes because
say
then
yes.
I come off sounding.
I would
But
say
I don't
yes
know
if you're
how-
asking my opinion.
I don't know how you can't. I mean,
Which one would you be, like the Abraham Lincoln of the
He's
Mount
done it
Rushmore?
all. He's
'cause
wrestled.
I was
he's
born on the
managed,
same day as Abraham
He's
Lincoln.
worked the concession stand.
Yeah,
He's done it
apparently
all.
I work the concession stand. I commentate, I wrestle,
I
I
forgot.
manage.
Makes his own locker room in the back.
I do make my own locker rooms. I've had 120 now, I think, matches, which
You
is
aren't you undefeated at Absolution as well?
no, I should be, but I'm not. I have the most Absolution victories. I got a lot of.
Now he's off the schedule for Absolution.
Yeah, now it's gotta be a record. Yeah,
Just got himself unbooked.
yeah. Now I'm not on it now. But I don't want to say me, but I don't know how. Not to say that the company wouldn't exist without me, but I mean, I've been a pretty integral part of
Big
it.
So we got-
acquisition in February 2006.
Yep.
So we got Biggins, Duke.
That's a long.
We got 2 more spots.
18-year contract.
Yep.
As the owner, you got to be
Still-
up there,
still
right?
haven't gotten a raise.
I kind of feel like
think-
it's
I
like
mean, I
George
don't know.
Washington's up on Mount Rushmore of America. That was the first president, right? Thorne's got to be up there, right?
I think if you're going strictly talent, I think
Strictly
you gotta-
talent would be a
I think you
different
gotta
story.
You got to put Johnny on there, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably got to put Prohibition. on there or he's in the conversation.
Sure.
And then there's just a lot of different eras. You know what I mean? Like you could make an argument
Oh,
for Ethan
Ethan
Page.
Yeah.
You know, you can make a lot of arguments for a lot of people for those, other spots. I mean, I don't know how to answer it.
As far as popularity,
Tim Donst, you know what I mean?
Like Tim Donst on my AIW Mount Rushmore. I love Tim Donst.
as far as popularity, would you have to say maybe Britt? I mean, she's pretty up there as far as popular
Not
goes.
a long
from-
enough run.
I'm just thinking like homegrown type AIW person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not a long enough run.
Okay.
I don't think to qualify.
Okay. Honorable mention, I guess maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of honorable mentions.
Yeah.
A lot of bronze busts at the foothills of Mount Rushmore.
That's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you, we're
Yeah.
going to get this constructed.
But it's hard
now
to
that
say.
you
It's
know
a
this.
hard question.
It's hard
Yeah.
to say because the book isn't done being written.
That's true. Yeah, that's
That's
true.
right. I got more Absolution wins to get.
I think you said it earlier. You're going to do this until you don't. So we got plenty of time to go, right?
Yeah, I didn't say it on the, but yeah, I mean, it's really like, there's no exit plan for me.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's looking to acquire this conglomerate.
You've been
So-
offering to sell it. I don't know. According to social media, you've been throwing it out there to sell it. So that's
Hey,
what
I
I
had
don't
one
know.
offer once.
That's the unlockable Patreon tier
Yeah,
by the company.
yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna do it until I don't one day. That's pretty much how it goes.
Fair enough.
for a wrestling promoter.
So give us a better question because we kind of
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I guess we'll table the kind of Hall of Fame or on Mount
Hall of
Rushmore
Fame's
one.
easy. Mount Rushmore is hard.
I think we should redirect that to the Discord.
Yeah.
And who they think
Yeah.
should
Right.
be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
We
sound
just hit
off.
him with that Uno reverse.
Draw 4, bitch.
Our old pal Scott Random has a question for you, Duke.
Okay.
The Dukester, he would like to know when is the next Haas Division Golden Boot Championship defense scheduled? He thinks you have the last recorded defense about 20 months ago, and I'm sure
No.
you can.
No.
Duke actually defended it last night in Argentina, wasn't it?
He is
Where
pretty
was that? It
tan
was
today. I thought
Paraguay,
maybe
actually.
Paraguay. Okay.
It was against Mills Mascaris the 5th. And I did win, of course.
There you have it. And
I
still.
don't know. I did.
He must have beefed up.
Yeah.
Number 5. Must
Number
have
5.
Put on some size.
Yeah. I did. I mean, it won't be soon. I can tell you that much because we've got things locked in. I did offer to do one at Absolution, but that was shot down or passed over, I guess.
We don't run the concessions at the temple.
But
God, we're gonna get
so
some
I don't know.
mileage out of that.
I guess the we have some shows this summer, so maybe North Canton sometime, or maybe
Where's
Minerva?
that new one? Minerva?
maybe.
Minerva.
Yeah.
That's a-
maybe on the water. And
That's a volunteer only Minerva.
all the rich by all the rich people.
They
I
were
don't
there
think Derek is privy to that one.
clamoring for the
The
hospital.
HOA that wants us to do a private
yeah, so
show
are
on
you
their,
here?
on their lake.
We got a barge offer.
Oh, like actually on the water.
Yeah, but surrounded by mansions and rich people only.
I wish this was
This
a
is like,
video
is this like
podcast.
a purge situation?
That's what I said. They're gonna hunt us.
Said if that check clears, brother, we'll be there. Cool ass Andy's going in first though with the ring truck.
Yeah.
Cool ass Andy's pulling in with the U-Haul. He's scoping it out before I
have
come.
17 laser dots on his forehead.
I
while he's
wish
setting the ring up.
I wish this was a video podcast because when we said that, the look on your face was just pure like, holy goodness.
I think that's sweet, actually.
Oh, that's the dream for sure.
Yeah, we're
Not-
sending,
not
we're
Andy
sending,
being
we're
wrong.
sending fucking Andy Cool ass in there first, and if he lives, I'll show up about 5.
Yeah.
Fashionably late. Hercules wants to see he wants to pay to see Swoggle versus the Duke for the boot, and I know that's been
I've wrestled
flirted with.
Swoggle a few times. Swoggle and I
Singles?
turns in. Well, it starts off that way. Never finishes that way, but it starts off that
Are
way.
you saying a little Dill's ducking you? Or?
No, I'm saying it just so happens that something happens and we have a big schmaz and it turns into something else.
You have probably had more matches with Swoggle than fucking anybody on the planet.
The last Swoggle match.
I love it. It's so great.
The last Swoggle match, it was Duke, me, Chuck Stone, was it? Maybe
That was in Wadsworth. No, the last time I wrestled
It's the
Swoggle was
Mercury Lounge.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Was it
April.
you
Yeah.
that was it you that told me this? He has not he has not really been around since Chuck Stone has really had the change of attitude.
So Chuck
Yeah.
Stone is out there. He's wrestling like Marino or something, and I look over and fucking little Dylan's on the apron, and he's fucking making he's pantomiming grilling burgers over there, and he's doing the whole thing. He's making the patties and flipping them, and putting them on the bun.
Yelling at Chuck.
He's eating them. I'm dying. Oh my god, it was so good.
Oh, I love Dill.
I was standing out there during your guys' match, and little Dill just kept looking at me, and he goes, "Hey, start cheering for me." And then me and Josh started cheering for DX, and then he was like, "Hey, you guys shut the fuck up. Stop cheering for me."
Yeah, I love Swoggle, and I love because it's always the same thing, and it's super easy, and then it's like 2 minutes of nothing, and then 6 people run in that'll actually wrestle, and then me and him don't have to do anything until the end.
Yeah. We had a question earlier as far as, it was right when you walked up, as far as guests that we've had. A lot of people said, Terry Funk and stuff like that. Do you have a favorite, maybe meet and greet guest that came in, or anybody specific that, he...
He's dying.
Duke's giving me like
I didn't
the
think of it.
Duke.
You gave me the stink eye, and then it clicked in my brain.
Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo? Yeah, that cape was pretty gnarly.
He had a sweet mask.
That cape was pretty gnarly. All those jewels
I was
and
hoping
shit.
he was going to gift me one.
I remember when he set it down.
Would you give him cigars or scotch or
I
something?
gave him cigars and scotch.
Yeah.
Not a goddamn thing I got in return.
He
I
Steve
was like floating around his merch table at the end, like, "Hey, thanks for coming, brother."
Yeah.
Like, wait, just give me a goddamn mask. Nothing.
he
Saw him in the airport the next morning. Nothing.
damn. Yeah, Steve came back through the curtain, with everyone, he comes with everyone's gear and stuff, and he had that the cape, and me and you were just looking like, look at this fucking thing.
That cape's probably cost $10,000.
So fucking cool.
Ultimo, that's your guest? That's your favorite guest?
Yeah, I like him. He's real fun.
Come on.
Bad
Is that a Patreon tier?
Old Ed thinks he knows
Patreon
your.
tier.
Patreon
thinks
tier,
he knows
okay.
your.
I don't even know what you guys are doing here.
Oh, you
Duke's trying to expose me.
You've chosen to
I
expose
did not. I
yourself.
just looked at you.
Please, there are ladies present.
Jesus Christ. Jersey Mike wants to know, I guess this would be for you too, since you're current workers. He wants to know, what's your favorite AIW theme song other than your own? I love your theme song as a banger, Derek. Yours is a good one. You haven't played your singles theme in a while, Duke. Yours is a good one.
God, that's a good question. Tyson Riggs.
The Touch.
Touch from Transformers.
The Touch.
Movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love
I love that man
Chuck's.
perform live at Chikara once.
Stan Bush.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
They made merch for him and everything.
Oh yeah. Dude, that's like his one. The most random thing is that's the song that Wahlberg does in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
When he's recording, he's singing The Touch, and I have no idea why.
There's a version with him doing it too. Like
but I
on
don't
the
know
sound.
why that's the song that he picks. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the theme from Transformers.
Another Biggins' favorite movie. That was a wink to him when we did Boogie Nights with the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
One of his favorites.
What was the mix that you just edited for Hornswoggle?
Country Grammar.
Yeah. So
That's my favorite. Can you do the Swoggle music the way you were doing it? Like you were just mimicking the sound of his music?
when it was the beginning, the delete.
Do you remember at the after party where we touch tuned his theme song 20 times in a row and he got so mad?
yeah.
And then people in the bar realized that he was in the bar.
Dude, and that kid came over.
Some guy came over and said, "Mr. Hornswoggle, I would like to thank you for everything you've done to entertain me."
Mr. Horn?
Yikes.
Oh, it was so fucking
He said,
good.
"Mr. Hornswoggle, can I have a picture with you?" And he said, "Yeah, man, just 10."
It's just 10.
Just 10.
Ten.
Can I have a piece of your skin?
Mr. Hornswoggle.
That was the same night you got really mad, Duke,
It's Sam.
when Sam was besmirching your name.
Besmirching.
Besmirching.
Besmirching your
Oh,
name.
and First Stop?
It was.
when Sam Holloway uttered the first Pete, and he
Yeah,
said, "You
'cause-
fucking earned that."
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think you are to call me Pete, motherfucker?
I've still
From
never called
across
you
the
that.
bar.
Dude, he was fucking beat red. Hey, motherfucker! Who the fuck do you think you are?
It's like Pilot getting his wings, man. You gotta fucking earn it.
Yeah, I've never
What
called
the
you that
fuck
name
did you
once.
say to me? He was like that Ric Flair video in the bar.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
did you just say?
Apparently, he was punching the pussy clock.
I said, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" And he was like, "I thought It's Sam Holloway.
he
one
goes,
of
"I thought your name
one of
was-"
the dumbest
Yeah.
people I've ever met in my life. He goes, I thought that was your name. He goes, you don't fucking call me that. You don't fucking call me that, motherfucker.
As Duke is yelling at Sam from across the bar, Tom Waller's next to Sam, or next to Duke, and Tom Waller pulls up Pennybags Pete. I don't know what that's from, the cartoon, and he just has it zoomed in as Duke is screaming next to Duke's body.
One of the funniest motherfuckers in the
soul
IW,
left
Filthy
his body
Tom.
because he realized that he had really offended.
Yeah.
he had really
he
offended
knew.
him.
He knew he fucked up. Well, it was funny because
Hey,
Tom,
motherfucker! What'd you say to me?
Tom was the one that kept playing the song, and he was
Swaggle song?
Yeah, we kept playing
he
the
kept
Swaggle
going,
song.
watch this, watch this, watch this. And it would play, and it would play, and he would look around, he would fucking get so fucking mad. And then, what you said, the kid came over and recognized him,
Mr. Hornswoggle.
and he was okay for a second. He came back down. He wasn't so pissed off. And then literally fucking the next song, Tom fast passed it again. And he said, fuck this, got up and walked away.
got an
He got up
Uber.
and
He
left.
thought it was me.
got an
Fucking
Uber and
left. It was so fucking funny.
Swaggles hit me with the 1-2 punch multiple times. And his 1-2 punches, he'll punch you in the nuts, and as soon as you bend over, he punches you in the face. Real fast. It's so fast.
Midget fighter.
He's right in that level, dude. It's perfect
He was
fucking.
getting so mad when you with him at WrestleMania weekend, and you kept sending me photos, and then I would text him the photos that you sent me.
Because he was sleeping. But then we were watching ECW, and then
You
like
tell your fucking stooge to get out of the fucking backstage. He's not booked.
he was sleeping, and
that's
then he
funny.
was just like,
He's so funny.
as the ECW matches were happening, he's like, I hate ECW, and he just kept looking at Brian Myers. He's like, this sucks. I hate this, and then he fell asleep. Like you just closed his eyes for a little.
Then you
period.
text me a picture, and I texted to him, and he fucking flipped out.
I had to help him up onto a stool.
Was that after you changed out of your dancing unicorn costume?
No, that was the next day.
When you hang out with Swaggle long enough, you realize this little trick that you do like subconsciously. So when you're at the bar, you put your foot on the bottom rung of the stool
Yes.
without, so he like it's stable for him to crawl up.
Yep.
You just start doing it without even realizing you're doing it.
Think about it.
You just stabilize it for the little guy.
I spot him.
And he
I spot him.
ascends.
I'm always spotting him because we're always stooling it. That's what he wants to do.
pops up real
wants
fast,
to
though.
stool it as soon as we get done.
Yeah, stooling it.
He's like, "Can we get out here and go stool it?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I just give him a spot, and make sure he's up there.
just gotta fucking put that one foot down on there on the bottom rung.
Oh, it's so funny. A couple more. We got one from Ed Battis. He wants to know: will we ever
God,
Oh my
we have to
god.
deal with him on non-show days.
get your Barry in, get him in.
We finally gave him his first envelope, and
I
I
know.
watched it, and like I got so mad, I wanted to take it back. I said, Pedro, don't you ever do that in front of me again. I don't want to know that we've given this man any money.
I said to him too, because we were talking about everyone, what's your worth and your value and everything. And I said to him, I said, listen here, you stupid motherfucker. I said, they gave you an envelope. You better get there as early as you possibly fucking can. And we at the next Thursday show, he showed up at like 4:30. He walked in. I was like, you stupid bastard. He's like, I gotta go to work. I can't.
just got up.
I go, dude, you photograph
be a
cars. Tell Honda
And
to
guess
fuck
what?
off.
Not my fault you chose that job. You want to be around pro wrestling?
Right.
Fucking make it work.
Start making him pay for a ticket.
Should have made him come to my fucking seminar
Let's
last
get
night.
it over with, like eating your vegetables when you're a kid.
Well,
What's his question?
He's
I've
curious.
never ate a vegetable in my life.
It shows.
We'll get to that. He wants to know: we ever get the rebooking of Kevin Sullivan?
So Kevin Sullivan keeps calling me, and I just don't answer.
Just
'cause I
not
don't
picking
know.
up.
And then he calls Fonzie, and he says, "Tell John Thorne to answer." That was a bad Kevin Sullivan impersonation.
Kevin Sullivan, if we booked him, he would try to take over. He would have all these booking ideas, and he
Would it be worse than Savio?
Savio wanted to buy the
Savio
whole
just wanted to
company.
work together. He wanted to do stuff together. I don't know if Kevin Sullivan would be that amenable.
Probably got a fucking voicemail from fucking Kevin Sullivan somewhere on my phone. Got a voicemail from Stan Hansen canceled. I got a voicemail from Rey Mysterio. I could play it.
The Rey Mysterio one's good.
Boogeyman, 15 seconds.
Those are good voicemails to have.
I'm coming to get you. Click.
I didn't save his number, so I gotta look. It's like fucking like St. Petersburg, Florida, or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't have it anymore.
When you save wrestlers' numbers, do you save them as their worker name or the shoot name? It's kind
I
of
don't. I try not to know anybody's shoot name. I hate nobody.
I say that all the time, and everyone gets mad at me. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't want to fucking know your real name. You called me by my real name earlier, you fucker.
I did, Patrick.
I hate seeing people, masked wrestlers without their masks.
Yeah, that's a big one. They're also fucking. Most of them are all handsome as hell. Why they wear these goddamn
You want to know
masks?
who's handsome?
Who?
Micro Man.
Oh, of course.
He's a little handsome
I
guy.
love that little
Dude,
fucker.
fucking,
How?
We got to get him back.
Penta
dude.
looks like he's in Menudo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
And then
looker,
he puts
huh?
all the like he looks so scary with the makeup and,
Yeah.
and the hood on and everything else. When he's walking around, you think he's like one of Menudo.
305.
Oh, we're gonna have to edit that.
Him and Gabe, put you both on the list.
That was another podcast. We won't talk about that.
Edit that out.
Yep, edit that out. What's the time period on that?
555.
35 minutes of the second file. Well, that was kind of.
Did we ever get Bates' question? Did you ever read it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
whether
about
you want to
Sullivan.
rebook Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, I don't know. He keeps calling me. He keeps having Fonzie call me. Fonzie had Drake Younger call me.
I saw that.
That's another voicemail I got recently. I don't know. You know, like there's not a lot of guys left from that era, so I definitely want to do it. But he lives like in Seattle, so it's like a killer.
Yeah,
killer
that's
flight.
rough.
But I heard he's moving back to Florida, so maybe
That's a little cheaper.
Huh?
Florida's a little cheaper than Seattle for sure.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know.
Get him on that Breeze airline flight. Flies into Akron, Canton for like $40.
The problem with Breeze Airlines is they only like fly every 3 days.
I know. Got to time it up. Sorry, Taskmaster.
Fonzie hops right on that Frontier.
Yeah.
You don't care. Indie wrestlers.
Where's my
only-
seat, Daddy?
We gotta really.
I just come with a book bag.
This next
I
time.
fight a gator and get on the plane, Daddy.
Yeah, we got to do fishing with Fonzie and go out on the lake and do like a GoPro vlog.
During the
of Fonzie
pandemic, I was
finish
uploading.
fishing.
He was sending me all these videos, fucking with alligators, and I kept putting them on the AW social media.
On the floating water show, he's going to come out of the pond.
He comes up from underneath.
Yeah, like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Riding an alligator.
There's like one of those like wrestling's like, myths and whatever things about Fonzie running over an alligator
Yeah.
and like picking it up and putting it in his trunk because he wants to make boots out of it. And then when he got home, the alligator was alive.
Oh my god.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, Daddy, that was true."
You sure he just didn't see Tommy Boy with the deer when it came back to life in their
That's
car?
good.
He's like, "I was gonna get some boots."
What's he gonna? Was he Kaplan?
He's also got another
gator jerky?
He also has another crazy story about fucking Roddy Piper fucking trying to shoot an alligator. Fonzie's lived a life. You
I
want to talk
believe
about
that.
living
Oh, yeah.
a life?
Every time I see something of Fonzie, like new, like, yeah, it's like
He's
a
been
picture.
around forever.
Well, yeah, it's like a
you watch-
picture.
I tell them all the time, like in my other bedroom, I have this bike set up that I ride,
His other bedroom,
and I have
the palatial estate.
2-bedroom guy. 1.2 million. 1.2 million 2-bedroom guy.
Did he tell you?
bedroom,
Did,
two
did he
bed,
talk about his sauna already?
Yeah, oh yeah,
No,
we talked
I
about the
didn't.
sauna. We did.
Did you see his green car out there?
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, you watch like old WCW like pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah.
And you just like, holy shit, that's Fonzie.
Yeah.
Like I'll Facebook them. I go, I just watched Fonzie ref Tully Blanchard against Ronnie Garvin.
Somebody.
Fonzie texts me all the time. I haven't slept since 1982, Daddy.
That's the last show you booked him on a late flight so he could get some sleep for the first time since 1982.
I
And
found
it got delayed
Yeah.
for 12 hours. None of you motherfuckers came. I was so tired.
I was not punching in on that.
Austin James, the only guy who came for the last half hour.
Still counts.
I found that pinball machine with Fonzie on it.
Oh, he's on the Royal Rumble pinball machine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
like
sent
what
him a-
happens.
Where's my royalties,
He
Daddy?
goes, "That's badass. Do you have that?" And I go, "No."
What do you think you are, me?
I'm like, "No, I do not own a pinball machine."
hit trombetta with a pinball machine in your living room? That's funny. Yeah, people will send him random photos of him, and he'll repost them, and I see him online. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like it's just like, oh, it's WrestleMania, whatever. There's Fonzie, you know what I mean? Like just random
Although
shit.
another Fonzie thing is, if you get in his texting circle,
Yeah.
you're bound to get 35 pictures of Fonzie.
Hell yeah.
And
Fonzie will sometimes go on a run.
Yeah.
Where it's literally 35, bang, bang, bang. You got to turn your notifications off, and by the time you look, you're it's all Fonzie texting you pictures of himself from like a full fucking retrospective of his life.
He's like,
Rocks
look,
so hard.
Look at young, he
But
goes,
you got
"Look
to
at
time it
ba-
up. You save them up and then you shoot them all out at once.
He goes, look at young baby handsome Fonzie.
But like he also doesn't like save the photos properly.
Yeah.
They're like screenshotted
Yeah,
and
yeah.
half cropped. So it'd be like you'll see like a phone number or like a website at the top of it, and it'd be like, look at Fonzie and all the superstar friends, Daddy.
1-900, 9900 or
I fucking love that, man.
9900.
I mean, I know I told it on the podcast, but when I met up with Fonzie when I was on vacation in Clearwater and he lived in Tampa,
Yeah.
took me around. He's like, "This is the hospital Fonzie was born at, Daddy." Like he did the whole life tour. He's like, "This is Fonzie's childhood
That's
home."
so good.
You know.
Did you get a snack with the tour and to sit in
Yeah.
the back? So it was
Do you know what
The
it's
Kramer experience.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? And like I posted it at the time on my social media. He like popped his trunk. He was looking for something. He's got his fucking all access pass from WrestleMania 9 in the trunk.
Just in the trunk.
He's got his fucking Pro Wrestling Illustrated Manager of the Year 1997 plaque.
White
in the
paper
trunk.
storage, Daddy.
Yeah.
He's got all this shit. And I go, Fonzie, this is just in your trunk? He's like, yeah, what is it? He's like, so I made him hold it all up and take pictures with it. It's like literally like all access, Caesar's Palace, Bill Alfonso, referee.
Oh, that's so good.
Sitting in his fucking trunk.
Fuck the office, Daddy. This is in the trunk. of My Cadillac. So I do want to touch on you and not eating vegetables because we've talked about in the pod that you're pretty Thorne.
I don't eat
You're
vegetables
pretty,
either.
Thorne, you're pretty picky, yeah. But we've got the powerhouses, the mega powers of not eating vegetables or green things
Love
right
vegetables.
here. Yeah.
I
Never
hate
had
it.
anything green in my life.
I hate it. It's gross.
What did that
Except for money.
What did that stem from? Just your parents never made you
That's a
like
good Duke
That was
line.
good. That was a good one.
I'm surprised it took you that long to get it out.
just never you never tried like you won't even try like you're a type of guy like if you go to a place and you order a burger and you're like no
Do you have any-
lettuce.
do you have siblings?
No, I'm only child.
Okay, so me and my sister are 10 years apart. So by the time I had 10 years of fucking getting my way,
Yeah.
that was it.
You're like
I
fuck
was
this.
not turning back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So but I was gonna say like you're like a guy like if you're
It's
at,
like an only child or like big gap in siblings.
I hate lettuce so much. So if I order something and it comes out on lettuce,
you're not
I
just
guess
like
it gets-
scraping it
no,
off.
I'm not, I
I
can't
need
eat
a brand
it. I'm
new
not eating
one.
it. It's
Yeah.
gross. It's tarnished.
Yeah, you gotta send it back.
I've gotten burgers with like
I will not get Huli House on Uber Eats or like DoorDash or any of that because it does not allow editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
they'll put
Also, why I would not get Heart of Gold for a while, but now they've added that you can edit.
they'll
Yeah, you
put
couldn't
pickles
for a
on
long
it
time.
too. Like they'll put like a pickle thing in it, and then if you get a sandwich, it tastes like pickles because
Yeah.
it's a pickle wrapped up next to the sandwich.
For sure.
Oh, I hate
Vegetable.
that. Or they put the fries over the pickle when you get
Yes.
to go. Oh, awful.
A good place will put the wax paper down and put the fries on it and the sandwich and the pickles under the wax paper.
Sometimes the pickles is too juicy and it just oozes in.
And that's when you eat it because it's
Slime and
delicious.
shit. We're going to the Huli House.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't. Is there anything else you want to cover for the 300th? I mean, we kind of went
I
through.
think we've been all over the map.
We've moved locations. We've
Yeah.
probably have too much wind and we're going to get buried for half of it. I accidentally played Kevin Sullivan's real phone number.
We crab walked.
It happens. We're doing it live. You know what I mean? It's hard to produce these things live. So, but you know, we put out a podcast for you animals. So that's you should be happy with. That's all I ever
Yeah,
hear.
that'll tide him over till next week.
Trombetta and all these guys, Mike in the when's the Sean? What's
Mike
his
and the
Sean
boys.
H? When are you putting out the podcast? I'm like, I've got a 5-year-old.
I know. When are you going to do something for somebody? When are you going to contribute to society?
Well,
We don't have Sean is a fucking big time guy.
We don't
Yeah,
have enough
he-
to do. Who?
Sean Hovan from the he's in the Discord.
Yeah.
He's commenting a lot.
he's given a lot of production like
Yeah,
advice because he
works
does
something in
stuff like that.
production, But you know who he was? Like he was the guy that got JT. He was a tape trader, and he's the guy that got JT the tapes of Punk and Cabana and all those guys that JT started booking, and he did the tape trading stuff with Cole, the Wrestling Gods or whatever, tape trading and all that. He was one of those guys, and he was a guy that would always was kind of the driving force in JT bringing in some of those big talents in those days.
Be that as it may, I do find it a little off-putting when the people in the Discord are so demanding.
They pay to play, brothers.
They
Customer's
don't pay-
always
they don't
right.
pay to be in the Discord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
do.
do.
It's
That's
cost
a tier,
money.
yeah.
It's a Patreon tier.
Just because you didn't pay, it's a Patreon tier.
I never pay.
Did we talk about
The
how
one
you're
guy with
undercover
money
today?
never pays.
That's how it
Because I
always
have a
goes.
hat on.
Did we
That's how he
talk about
stays
how you're
rich.
undercover
Why,
today?
'cause I have
Undercover hat.
Because I have a hat on.
And your
You had those
sunglasses.
sunglasses too. Yeah, the
Well, it was
aviators.
sunny out when I drove here.
What's that meme? Like, hello,
Hello,
young
fellow youth. Yeah. I send that.
Steve Buscemi.
Put
meme.
those-
I send that.
those
How do you
shades-
do,
hold on,
youngsters?
Hold on.
There's a state trooper fucking headquarters right there. Put those shades on and walk in. They're gonna let you punch in.
I send that.
Punching
Yep,
it.
they would be
Pussy
like-
clock. I send that Steve Buscemi. How do you do, fellow kids?
that's
meme
it. That's
every
the
year
line.
to Nate Matson on his birthday because Buscemi's holding a skateboard
Yeah.
and Nate Matson loves a skateboard.
He's mall
and he's
grabbing.
like almost as old as I am. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna break every bone in your body. He's like, I don't care. So I'm just like, how do you do, fellow youths or whatever?
I dare you to
Buscemi-
go punch the clock at that state trooper station.
I love
I
that.
get my own,
Here we
my
go.
own Charger. I'm gonna chase down some
Give me car
criminals.
6.
Car 12.
I love that meme because it's Buscemi's like doing the mall grab, but then his shirt, if you've ever noticed,
AC/DC.
no, it says music band. That's the best fucking part. This guy I work with thought that was the funniest shit ever, so he went online and found one, and now every like once a week when he wears it to work, I get a good laugh. So I'm like, music band, how do you do, fellow young kids?
That's funny.
Well, I guess that's pretty much going to do it for us here. Appreciate you coming out for episode 300. We like I said, we reimagine many of the Patreon tiers. So get on the Patreon, join the Patreon. One of the tiers we are going to be doing going forward, doing some shout outs, stuff like that. So if you want to hear your name or you have questions, join the Patreon, get in the Discord. We'll have a shout out section, all that stuff.
I'm about to reimagine some dinner. So
Yeah.
There's a new tier coming. Sell fucking popcorn with concession stand Pete.
There you go. There you go. Take over for my
Treats,
team.
Pete's Treats.
Be the manager of Pete's Streets.
That's fucking great. You got
Paper
the Ronnie
hats.
$2 tier and then Pete's Treats right behind
Pete's
it.
Treats,
That's
yeah.
fucking
$10,000 for that tier.
Once all the marijuana stuff becomes legal and we can start, maybe we'll start our own dispensary, Pete's Treats.
No.
You know how all the rappers and shit, they have their own branded
Yeah.
fucking
Rap
edibles and
snacks.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll get Pete's Treats. It'll just be fucking Duke on a fucking 50 milligram or something.
That's fantastic. Well, I guess that's going to do it for us. Anybody got anything they want to say before we get out of here?
I'm trying to get one of those Duke pens.
Duke pen.
Pete's pens.
Pete's
Oh, he's got his own personal pens. What his clients?
Got the batteries with his face on it. All right, well, that's
Focus on yourself there.
It's gonna do
I
it
got
for
nothing
us.
to say, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone, I just want to put Duke's business out there. Duke is now a double billionaire.
Billionaire?
Yeah,
No,
he-
not
That's
quite.
what he told us
1.2.
yesterday.
He told us his net worth earlier
Yeah,
before he got here,
1.2 million.
Oh,
I thought he'd be doing a little better, personally.
Yeah.
you went down? Was it the crypto?
No. Yet he loves to come to my house, and apparently we should have had this at my house, but I should be doing better.
We could have been on that white leather couch right now, fucking lamping, dude.
looking at his big
Reclining. He's got double recliners over there.
Chowing some pizza. Hut.
watching
big bearskin rug.
watching the
in front of
85-inch TV, eating some pizza.
Palatial estates. All right, well,
We'll put over the JoJo's, though, that you get.
Yeah.
Gas
Jo-
station JoJo's.
those
are
tenders.
money.
He gets
Yeah.
them.
Convenience store with a gas pump.
they're really good.
Oh, pump, just one pump. So
No, they have four. I don't know.
I loved when we said that we wanted JoJo's. He goes, I had to go to the gas station for you guys. Like it was like he had to go slum it to get us some JoJo's.
WrestleMania, he had 7 JoJo's. He's like, I ordered a double order, guys. I don't know what happened.
I did get-
7 JoJo's in there.
I did get
12 people.
I did. There wasn't 12 of you. There was 5.
Cut them in half, guys.
There was 5 of you.
That's how you build your net worth.
I was functioning under the guise that I am actually Jesus, and I could have created infinite JoJo's out of one.
He's
However,
turning JoJo's
Really
Sorry,
one.
guys. I ordered. There's a fucking 5 and a
They
half
only
in there.
gave him one potato of JoJo's.
it was bad. It was bad.
Oh, that's
It was
good.
bad. They fucked me that day.
You're a
But then the
JoJo
last
guy?
time I went, girl gave me. I got a 9-piece chicken and some JoJo's. Gave me extra piece of chicken, so gave me 10 pieces and gave me more JoJo's than 18.
18 JoJo's.
Interesting.
There's only 5 for us.
Interesting.
Dude, 18 and 10 chickens. Jesus.
10. I didn't eat it all in one sitting. Took me 3 days to eat it all.
Oh, fuck. For myself, for John Thorne, for the Duke, and
Fuck
Derek
you all.
Dillinger.
Beat Streets.
For Pete Streets.
18
New
chickens.
sponsor.
Four fried chickens and a Coke.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Thanks.